You're listening to Birds Coast to Coast. Here's your host, John Clark and Tanner Riddle.
Hello, and welcome everyone to episode 19 of Birds Coast to Coast. I'm your primary host. No, I'm just kidding. I'm your host, Tanner.
And I'm
joined as
host,
always,
and I'm the other
featuring
host,
John.
Oh my God, the timing's off. No, let me in. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm your other host, John, and we're here to break news because we are doing the customary NFL schedule release pod. This is kind of like a mix between like your birthday / New Year's Day. I would say if the draft is like Christmas, like the NFL schedule release is that awkward 2 week later one. It's like, oh yeah, new year. So
This feels like your half birthday, like you're forcing something to celebrate.
yeah, I don't
Well,
know, man.
what's funny about today is we've actually known who our opponents are for a couple months now.
Yeah.
And we've actually known some of our opponents for a couple of years because a lot of this is actually predetermined. We obviously already know our divisional opponents. And then years in advance, we know the cross divisions that we're going to play.
Of course, it's all.
We
set.
really, yeah, we find out permanently at the end of the regular season who we're going to play, filling in a couple gaps. So we've known our actual opponents for a couple months now. But today, what makes it special is we know the exact dates and the times, primetime games, that sort of thing. We got a little bit more specifics that are announced today. So we're thinking about going over both the Cardinals and the Eagles schedule, seeing what stands out. Maybe making a prediction of, well, not maybe, we will be making predictions. What we think the teams are how they're gonna finish. Yet I know we have a couple months left, but stuff can still change. What's gonna look like. That matchup against the Chiefs. Are you going to play Pat Mahomes or not? I mean, that's relative, or that's relevant information that we get today. So yeah, do you have any thoughts about today?
Well, this is obviously like the social media is like Super Bowl for each team. Like
Yes.
I feel like every year they get a little more creative. It's like we're gonna ask everyone on the street. It's like, who's this logo? And it's like the Rams. It's like, is that the Pegasuses? And then it's like and it has like the Pegasus or something. So yeah, social media teams kind of been stepping their game up with this schedule release. I really do think this is like their Super Bowl. Like the Chargers always have like some like legitimate I don't know, Oscar winning
video. The Chargers appear to be the who would be what? The Yankees.
Like one year they did like a complete like anime edition of like each schedule.
I think I took a sneak peek. It looked like they did a Halo theme this year.
Oh, it's sick. I can't wait to watch it later. Oh my gosh. I think like earlier last week, well, I noticed they've started doing like, instead of doing the schedule earlier this week, they did like our teams as different things. And it's like, oh, like the Chiefs did like our teams as sourdough, and it kind of blew up negatively for them because it was like the dumbest thing ever. So now teams are doing like our teams rolling out now instead of that. So like, because like you said, like we know who we're playing before, we just didn't know when. So now we know when. So it's exciting. So let's
actually, I mean, like, in as much as I do kind of poo because we're really trying to make every single football thing like an event. Not we, but like the NFL is trying to make everything an event, even releasing a schedule that we've known the opponents for months. There is some relevant stuff here.
Absolutely.
Learning you're gonna be playing internationally, that's interesting.
Amount of prime time games.
Yeah, how does that affect travel and stamina on the body? Do you have a bye? When's your bye week? I mean, it does matter if your bye week's week 4 versus week 14. If you do plan on traveling for a game, which there was one year where we knew we were going to play the Cowboys, and we knew that was a game we were interested in going to. Well, it mattered if we played them in September versus early January. So there's little stuff like that's interesting to know.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so interesting because like I hate primetime games. Like I really do. Like so like every time I see like the amount of primetime games every year on the schedule, it's like I gotta stay up. Oh, I gotta stay up. Meanwhile, you're on the West Coast, like, ooh, the game's over at 8. Awesome.
Right. Oh, I love it.
Like I'm staying up like that stupid like that SpongeBob meme where he's just sitting there and it's like hyper like realistic and he's just sitting there like with his eyes crusted at like 11 p.m. at night like that. That's and it's like
What's funny is my body never adjusted, so it knows to be tired after the Sunday night game.
yeah.
So at 8:30, I'm like, oh, that was fun. All right, time to go to bed.
Yeah, no. So and then you still got like 2 hours of like, yeah, let's go wind down. This is great. So how do you want to tackle this, Tim? You want to do Cardinals full and then Eagles full, or you want to do like quadrant one of the schedule for the Eagles, quadrant one of the schedule for the Cardinals? Then we like what do you think would be a better? I guess keeping it all together.
I say let's do one team.
Okay.
I say we'll start with the Cardinals. Maybe that
Let's do it.
that might be less predictable or more predictable, less volatile. Like I think we probably have an idea, what some of the results are going to be.
No, it's so funny. It's like you guys finished last in the division, but you guys have a way harder schedule than the Eagles, which flies in the face of parity if you think about it.
Well, I do say like people like to make a big deal of the whole last place schedule thing, and sure, I would rather play the fourth place team than the first place team. I don't think people understand though that only applies to like 2 games.
Yeah.
And this year, I believe, I'm trying to think. Like there was a year where it's like, well, actually, the third place schedule was like it ended up being a more favorable schedule than the fourth place. So, again, we know that teams change year to year, but the whole fourth place schedule thing, I think, is a little overblown, in my opinion.
Wow. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at this guy. Who you got first?
All right. So week 1, September 13th, we are in LA to play the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh. Tough draw.
I know we'll be making probably like preseason predictions and like Super Bowl predictions, MVPs, all that good stuff. I think I might have the Chargers as my AFC representative this year. I'm big on the Chargers this year, so yeah, I don't think that's going to be too easy of a game for us. I'm probably going to chalk that up into the loss column.
Interesting. You know what?
You have any thoughts on the Chargers, like overall as a team?
Well, I'm going to keep record too. So you're going to give your win. I'm giving them if I think the Cardinals will win too. So I want to see how far we differ on this.
You mean a loss?
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
Wait, what are you picking?
I think it's going to be a lot closer than you think. I think this
is that because you're higher on the Cardinals or you're lower on the Chargers?
A little bit of both. I've never been that big of a Justin Herbert guy. I mean, I think he's talented, but I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily think they're world beaters out there. I think they could be had, and I think the Cardinals. I was talking to myself the other day, and in my head, I was, if I were to play the Cardinals, when would I want to play them? Do I want to play them when they have hope in week 1, or do I want to play them in week 10 when their season's over? I'd rather play them in week 10 when their season's over, right? Let's be real. So,
even in our more tougher years where we win 3, 4, 5 games, there is a pattern there. There, not every loss is the same.
Yeah.
Week 1 could be like a 20-16 loss, but then week 14 is like a 42 to.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not the same team recently.
New coach, new offense, new running back. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is there a chance that the Cardinals make this game competitive? I'm gonna put it at a loss. I will, but wouldn't be shocked.
No, I think that's fair.
Wouldn't be shocked.
I do go back and forth on this team. We do have pieces on offense that I find are really interesting.
Yeah.
And if Mike LaFleur can come up with something in the lab, I mean, this could be a decent looking offense.
I'll just say
depends on what Jacoby Brissett we get.
Our first pod parlay may include a Cardinals cover. Just saying.
Oh, saying. The fact that you say that, I believe this is actually the only double-digit spread of the week. I think I saw that the Chargers were 10.5 points, the only double digit. So fact that you're saying that might be a good buy.
I love that. I think, hearing that, I'll take those points if it's double digits every day of the week. All right, who we got next? I see.
All right, week 2 is our home opener versus Super Bowl champs, Seattle Seahawks.
Damn. What?
I think we're gonna notice a theme here.
My God.
Okay, I'm gonna put down a second loss. I'm gonna say we start 0-2 this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Who did the Seahawks play week 1? Don't they play the Patriots again?
They have their opener. It's technically not the actual NFL opener, is it? Because isn't that the Australia game?
It's that Australia, and I think Brazil again. Am I right in that? So
no, it's Australia.
Okay, I thought they played in Brazil. I thought someone plays in Brazil again.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Niners and 49ers and the Rams open the season, I think, in Australia on a Wednesday.
And then they play it, yes.
And then Seattle, New England plays that Thursday. So they stay in that typical Thursday night opener slot. But they wanted to give those other two teams an extra day, I guess, since they're traveling from.
You know what's so funny? You know what that reminds me of? And I know we're kind of jumping off sports here, but do you remember baseball did that in Japan a few years ago with the Dodgers?
Yeah, it was so unnoticeable. You just kind of happen to look up and you see the Dodgers are 2-0, and the season doesn't start for a week and a half.
If I remember correctly, there were still spring training games happening.
Yeah, because I think like you said, it was a week and a half.
Yeah.
So that would be during spring training.
It counted. I don't know. Anyway,
there's no way the NFL would be as unnoticeable as baseball was that year.
That's insane. I couldn't believe that. If that had been the Shohei Ohtani effect. All right, so I'm going to put that as a loss because you never know with that Patriots-Seahawks game. I mean, would it shock me if the Patriots ended up winning that game? The Super Bowl loser coming back in them comeuppance. So maybe they'll be looking at 0-1 and being like, all right, let's go beat the crap out of the Cardinals. So
we'll have an extra half week to get right then. Either way.
Yeah. All right. So listen. Tough draw. We're looking at a strong 0-2. A strong 0-2. All right. A formidable 0-2. All right.
All right. Week 3 on the road. San Francisco 49ers.
My God.
Oh no, it there's going to be a theme here. Over the last 6-7 years or so, we've actually played the Niners relatively solid, even if we don't win every game. We don't usually get blown out by them. It'll be interesting because this is a Mike LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan matchup, the first of hopefully many. Given that he actually spent 4 years under Shanahan, or actually I think he spent more than 4 years. He spent quite a bit of time. I'm gonna say that's also gonna be a loss. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We've only had 2 teams in NFL history go winless, correct?
Yes, what are you trying to imply?
Okay. We're gonna have to find something here unless we become a third team, but
look,
I don't think it's gonna happen just yet. I'm gonna say
find a couple wins, or you're gonna find Arch Manning in April. One or the other.
No. The problem with that is Arch does have a year of eligibility after next year, so
you could just say nope.
Nothing's guaranteed.
No Cardinals. Fun. All right, so I'm gonna. You know what? You didn't sound very confident. I'm giving them an L2. You did not sound. Your enthusiasm was not noticed. I was gonna be like, maybe they can win, but if this was at home, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? They'll figure it out. It's early in this. That sucks, dude. That early Cardinals bump of optimism. They're just shoving great teams down your guys' throat. That's not fair. Where's your coin flip game? We're like, yeah, they can take that one. No, it ain't happening.
We don't have any.
I don't see them.
I think we might have our first one, but I only see 2 of them. This is a brutal schedule.
Woo. All right, who we got after this?
Week 4. This is somewhat interesting. It's at the New York Giants. So we start off 3 of 4 on the road. Now, the Giants finished with a top 5 pick last year. So that implies that they didn't win too many games. But they made some some moves. They hired John Harbaugh. I always get them confused. They hired Jim Harbaugh. Depending on how excited you are about Jackson Dart going into year 2, it is in New York, and the Meadowlands or MetLife Stadium, it's got a reputation for not being the most player safety friendly field. Is this where we get our second quarterback to play? I'm not predicting an injury, of course. I'm just saying, like, there have been a handful of, pretty gruesome injuries on this field. It's not the craziest idea.
Dude, you really want this number 1 pick. You're like, yeah, we're going to bring out, Jeremiah Love is just going to tear his ACL right on MetLife. That's what I'm thinking.
No. Sorry. I mean, I was thinking more at quarterback, if anything.
Why do you hate Jacoby Brissett? My God, like, what kind of vendetta did you just put against him? Like, what was that?
We finished last year 1-11, losing our last 9. I don't have the most confidence. Like, I do think he's a good quarterback. Let me rephrase that. He can have his moments. I think he can win you a game with the right circumstances. I just don't think we have the right circumstances.
I saw on TikTok the other day, some 2 guys were asking each other, it was like, they're asking who has the worst winning percentage at quarterback with at least 40 career starts. So it was a very interesting list. You had to be good enough to stick around, but bad enough to be on the list. And Jacoby Brissett was, I think, somewhere like in between like 4th or 7th in that list, which I thought was very interesting. But makes sense. He sticks around. He pops up and plays for a couple games, maybe a season or so, and never does well. So, yeah, it makes sense he's on that list.
He threw, I think he had like 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions last year, like a decent touchdown to interception ratio. I'm sure there's a lot of fantasy owners who also recognize that as well. He's a really interesting guy.
He is. Like, I remember when he was like NC State, and like not even NC State fans were like super. I don't know. Like, I don't remember a lot of like pub coming out of NC State about Jacoby Brissett, but it's like, oh, the state. I remember it was like, oh, State's got a quarterback coming out. Like that was all.
He would have been a favorite of Bruce Arians. Bruce was he was a big stature guy, and Brissett's a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have looked the part in BA's eyes, and he would have liked him. He would have kept him around for a couple of years. Yeah, he's one of those quarterbacks where he gives you just enough like you sign him as your backup, you feel really good, which is how we felt, I think, as a fan base when we signed him last year.
All right.
If Kyler had a high ankle sprain, missed 4 weeks, I think typically the goal is, hey, can you split him? Can you go 2-2? I think he's capable of doing that in the right situation. The problem is we needed him to do that for 12 weeks. We got 1 win out of him.
That's a bust
in a bad situation. So
the division's just too hard.
I'm going to say we're going to have a 4th loss there.
I'm giving you guys a win.
Hey.
Listen, hey, I know you're Mr. Giant over there. You've been kind of flexing that, Jersey muscle for quite some time. I don't know why. Watch out for the Giants. I'm not scared of the Giants. Cardinals are going to take them down, even if it's a cross-country trip. Giants losing.
Scatterboo will have 125 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns.
No, he will not. That's going to be a 1-3 Cardinals start to the year. An optimism brews in the desert.
Well, let's just say this. That might be our best chance at a win for a while. Let's go to week 5.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Week 5, October 11th. Home to the Detroit Lions. Okay.
This is insane.
I'm going to say 0-5. This is kind of comical how difficult the schedule is. I mean, imagine it. It's not even that we're just bad. Like, this would be a tough schedule for you guys.
Oh, I'm looking at it. I mean, I'd be praying for 3-2. Like,
if I said, John, you could have 3-2, would you take it? You would say, in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, I would take.
And you would say, shoot, this might be a Super Bowl team. Like, if we can survive a schedule like this,
Oh, for sure. This is insane.
You feel more than just okay. But not me. 0-5.
I'm gonna say
I
lost
think
too.
this is what I was talking about before. Do you know the Lions came in last year in the NFC North? Do I really feel like I benefited from a fourth place schedule here? I do not. The Vikings beat them out, which is a little frustrating, but maybe next year. I'm gonna go with 0-5.
1-4.
1-4. Oh, no streak. Streaking's at 1 for you. All right, 0-5. Let's go to week 6. We're gonna go back to LA and play the Rams. I'm gonna say 0-6. Okay.
I don't even know
This
what to
is
say.
brutal.
I'm trying to make a point. There's no. I wish I could be like, I could see. No, these are just beat downs. These are just beat down, highly like. Where are the mid teams? There's no mid team. Like the Chargers were the mid team. That was the one mid
That's
team.
bad because I actually think they could go to this. I know I might be higher on the Chargers, but like they could go to the Super Bowl, and that's like a mid team. Brutal.
I can imagine like someone looking at the Cardinals schedule and they put them together, and the guy's like, "That's a lot of tough teams. I don't know how to make this like any sort of like help. I don't know how to help the Cardinals here. I'm just going to put them all down and just hope they can win some games. There's no way to make this easy for them."
Or someone said, we haven't had a winless team in a while. It'd be a shame if that changed.
That's crazy.
Okay.
All right, keep going.
So 1-5 for you? Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Week 7. Home to the Denver Broncos. 14-3 last year. I mean, they seem to bring back everybody on top of adding Jalen Waddle. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. That's a really good defense.
Watch the Broncos last year, though.
So are you okay? So you're gonna are they schedule merchants or whatever it's called? You don't think they were a true 14-3?
They just never I don't know, they didn't play up to their potential most games. Like they squeaked by a lot of games. I felt like
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think historically teams are pretty 500 in one score games, and so if you go 10-2 one year, typically history says you'll probably regress to the mean. And so you play that same schedule or that same team then the following year, you go 14-3, you might go 10-7. Like it's not the craziest idea if they really didn't get any worse on paper, but yet they win 10-11 games this year and they're still a good team. They just kind of regress to the mean because they won a lot of those 50-50 games. So is that what you're trying to suggest?
Yeah, I mean the Eagles played them last year and we lost, but we kind of gave the game away. We were winning by I think 9.
That was a weird. I remember that was a weird game.
Yeah, and I just felt
I remember following it on my phone.
And it was a slow plodding game, and I don't know. And I wanted to say to myself well, you know what? Maybe that's just the Broncos at their maybe it was an ugly Broncos win. But I kept watching because I had Cortland Sutton on my fantasy team, so I was watching a lot of Broncos games because they play usually at 4:00. So what am I doing after every Eagles game at 1? Watching Cortland Sutton at 4:00. So I'm watching these Broncos games and I'm like, they're not moving the ball very well. Defense is all world, but their offense is not that great. With Bo Nix coming off a broken ankle, how's he gonna look? And Jalen Waddle.
Well, this is week 7 at this point. He should be back at it.
I'm not talking about just him playing, but I'm talking about is it affecting mobility? Is it actually having him affect his play a little bit? And let's be real, he wasn't super great last year. So is there a chance he kind of, I'm not gonna say pulls a little mini CJ Stroud slide, but yeah, I don't know. So oh gosh, can I just say cover? I don't know. You're at home, right? You're at
what
home,
do they
right?
say? Good team. Yeah, this is in Arizona.
I'm just gonna say loss. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I don't know. Here's my thought. It'll be close, and the Broncos are closer to 500 team than they are to the 14-3 team. That's my That's my yeah. I think they're closer to 514-3 this year. But go ahead.
I could probably. I'll probably pick them in that 10
It's
to
a tough
10,
division
10
too.
to a
I mean, it's a
12
tough
range.
division.
Look, I trust Sean Payton. I think that's a good defense. I don't think they're going to completely collapse, but 14 wins was a lot last year.
I think they'll win this game off the basis of the defense being superb, other than the offense, taking advantage. I think, Pat Surtain, and that amazing pass rush from. God, don't they still who they still got on that edge rusher? Don't they still
They got
God,
Nick Benito.
They got Benito and they got Chubb. No, Chubb's not there anymore, is he?
No, Chubb's in Buffalo now.
Nice.
They got Zach Allen. They reunited
right.
him with Vance Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been a stud since he left Arizona, of course. Let me ask you this. So we're now 7 weeks in. I have him at 0-7. You got him at 1-6. Do we start considering a change at quarterback?
Oh, so this was your narrative and agenda. You're trying to get back in there. Got it. I think at this point it would be fair. I mean, look, at that point it would be what would be Jacoby's record as a Cardinal at that point? Like 1-20.
For you would be 2-17.
Oh, wasn't that far off.
That's your record. I would be 1-18.
Oh my God, I kind of said that as a joke, but we weren't that far off there. That's kind of crazy. I think it'd be completely within the realm. And honestly, like, new coaching staff, get the kid in there, see what he got. I don't know.
I mean, we're almost 2 weeks in. I think this is a really fair time to maybe. Now, are we just assuming Carson Beck? We're not looking at Gardner Minshew at all, are we?
No. Honestly, I think given that would be like what, 2 months into the year plus training camp, so that's 3 months of being in the program. Assuming Trey McBride's healthy, great tight end, great running back. I mean, tight ends and running backs are rookie quarterback's best friend. Building the offensive line a little bit, I think he'd survive. They'd probably dumb down the playbook a little bit with the rookie. Make him have some quick read throws and just kind of get him on his feet, get him out in the, just kind of get him moving a little bit with some quick, easy decisions. And we'll see what he has. And I think that'll be the time to figure out if you have something or not. And hopefully the schedule lightens up where you can see if he has something.
He has 40 starts in college. I expect him to get a heavy workload in the preseason. Plus, we got the extra game with the Hall of Fame game. I think it makes it. I mean, not that it really matters. This is where I think the quarterback change happens, is after week 7, which leads us to week 8, where I think Carson Beck may make his career debut on the road in Dallas to play the Dallas Cowboys.
There's no let up.
I mean, and I'm pretty high in the Cowboys this year. I think their offense is pretty great, and I think they made a lot of changes on defense. Whether it's a positive change or not, it's a different story. I can't imagine, as bad as their defense was, that it would be any worse. I think this is. I think Dallas is going to be a pretty good team this year.
I think so too.
I'm going to say he's going to walk out of that. You know what? That's our first win. I think there's going to be some momentum. We've actually had the Cowboys number.
Yeah, you have
for a while. It's kind of a random thing. Former division rival. We used to be in the NFC East. We kind of have their number lately. I can see that. I mean, it's an 11 a.m. game for us at least. So, 1 o'clock. It's not prime time. I'll take it. I'll say that's our first win of the year.
And I say the Cowboys will blow you guys out by 30 just to make it even. Because sometimes when the Cowboys sometimes get these little mid-season runs and they just start,
They will. They'll put off this explosive performance and they'll get you going like, hey, this is the year. How about them boys?
Hey, FS1, lead off with us. This is your show topic tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Yeah. So
all right. So we're gonna go to week 9, And I'm going to say the streak of 1 comes to an abrupt halt. We're going at the Seattle Seahawks. I'll say this.
What are you going to
We
say?
had our stretch of we were pretty good in Seattle. I think we won like 4 years in a row. And this was right in the middle of Seattle dominating at home.
Wait. Is that
So that was something we were always very proud of. But during that same stretch, they dominated us in Arizona. So it really didn't matter.
Is that where this BA meme came from?
No, I want to say that came. I think that was the Bengals game in 2015. I don't know for certain. The memeable one you're thinking of maybe was Drew Stanton. Remember when he ran? Andre Ellington ran on. It was like a 3rd and 8 draw, and he takes it like 40 yards to go up. I think like 10 or something. And Drew Stanton's on the sideline, like running down with Andre Ellington. He's doing the whole like go, and he goes yeah.
Yeah.
He was all of us.
That was it. Yeah, I'm gonna say loss. Seattle's terrible there.
So what are we at 1-8? Is that what you got?
Uh-huh.
All right. No days off next week. Home to the LA Rams. Nope. I'm gonna say that is also a loss. Again, it's one of those. Not a rematch, but is this a debut? No, this would be his second. No, it would be a rematch. Okay, so this would be his rematch against Sean McVay. His former boss.
What if Ty Simpson is playing?
And then that means the Rams are in trouble.
Like, that might be your only shot. Like, gets hurt.
They wouldn't do it because it's still too early. This is what, week 10? If you were just gonna like throw Ty Simpson out there for a week, if you're comfortable with where you were in the standings,
go play the Cardinals.
It's like week 16, week 17. You're 12-3. You've already clinched a spot. I mean that would be kind of an interesting situation, but no, they would not do that. He could be getting his first snaps though. I mean, in reality. But yeah, I'm gonna say 1-10.
Yeah,
excuse me, 1-9 after week 10.
I think that's fair. Another loss. Jeez Louise.
All right, week 11, healthy. You would assume Patrick Mahomes on the road in Arrowhead against the Kansas City Chiefs.
What?
I think Andy Reid's gonna have some fun that week. I'm gonna say that's a loss.
Yeah, I'm gonna say loss too. I'm gonna say loss. I'm keeping up my scores as well. We're gonna keep this nice and cordial. We're notating together. It's a loss. Good Lord.
Is this our mid team? Was this week 12? The Washington Commanders at home? Is that a mid team?
See, here's the thing about the Commanders, right? I don't know what to make of them because you have, Jaden Daniels, who, let's be real, like he was banged up last year, so and the year prior was a team of like a ton of veterans, and he was playing out of his mind as a rookie, so I don't know what to make of him. Last year they took off all those veterans, and he got banged up. So what were they? Like, what were the Commanders last year? So like they got really young because all the veterans left, and now they're still super. I don't know. Like, I guess it's just Terry McLaurin and a bunch of nobodies out there. I think, is Debo still in there? Is Debo still in the Commanders? I don't even know anymore. Who they got?
Shoot, I don't know about Debo, honestly.
So I'm not. I mean,
I think he actually might be on the team still.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not there was such a while. I mean, look, we played them week 1, so I mean, I think their defense has definitely gotten better. I mean, they added. Did they add Sonny Styles?
He appears to be a free agent. I'm sorry. So Sonny Styles, yes, they did draft him. They drafted Sonny Styles 7th overall.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think you could sneak.
I think that's a shaky defense. The power of having a quarterback that gives you hope literally means that you could pull off a win at any point. If we're going to get wins, it's going to have to be this one. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say another loss.
I'm going to say win. because I
Okay.
don't know if Jaden Daniels will be able to hold up this long. I'm actually quite concerned about his frame. Like, and it was a bunch of small injuries too, like him just like the general just
I
getting
do
beat
have
up.
those concerns. Yeah.
Like, like maybe if this game was like earlier in the year, it'd be like, yeah, Jaden Daniels like fresh and team's looking good and he's looking fast. But I don't know, man. That's a tough NFC schedule they got too going, and if he's not 100%, I mean, you're looking at either a banged up Jane Daniels or a backup. That's really
I
the only
like
reason.
Jaden Daniels. He was pretty good at ASU for 3 years. Um, but there was this like highlight reel of him, and someone added like the Looney Tune sounds
It is just him
because
getting
if you,
car crashed every
he,
night.
I mean, it was comical some of the hits that he would take, and with that frame, you like very long and thin frame.
Yeah,
I mean, what happened last year might not be the last. Like that rib, it was a rib injury, right?
yeah, yeah.
I just that seems like a very possible like every year going forward. That seems like something that could pop up.
Wasn't there a quarterback who hurt his ribs recently, or like regularly? Wasn't it David Carr? Didn't David Carr have like bad ribs or something because like he always got like sacked so often? He just always got hurt because of all the sacks, and he's like, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of seeing the whole Jane Daniels thing. He's just not able to protect himself. Does he slide, or is he one of those who just like kind of doesn't know how to slide? I guess the video proves he might not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think he's a guy who's always looking to make a play on every play. He doesn't ever want to
Oh,
give up on a play. Unlike Kyler, Kyler would love to run out of bounds, and I say that actually being somewhat sincere. There were times where I actually appreciated it. There's nothing worse than having a guy out for 3 weeks just because he wanted to make a play on 3rd and 14. That wasn't really realistic in the first place.
exactly right.
All right, so you're gonna say 2-10. I'm gonna say 1-11.
Wow.
All right, the first annual Birds Coast to Coast Bowl,
Oh, I'm awake.
December 6th. The Arizona Cardinals host the Philadelphia Eagles.
Go Birds. I was hoping this would be a week one game, but it's
Why
fine.
is that?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be really cool for the pod for it to be the first week of the season, just to be good content. But
Get our best version of us.
yeah, it'd be really cool. Yeah, that too. That'd be cool. And look, let's be real. Like Jeremiah Love is going to rip off a first big touchdown. It'd be funny if it was against us. You'd remember it for a long.
Ooh, he's gonna have a David Johnson moment.
Yeah. It'd be great. So I listen. Go Birds. I don't think this is going to be that tough of a game, but we'll see. Maybe the Eagles come out and their offense isn't really clicking, and the Eagles led the league in 3-and-outs last year. So
On offense,
and the Cardinals beat us last year or 2 years ago, 2023. So I mean, is it possible for like the Cardinals to come in or kind of put up a fight and then all of a sudden just kind of steal one? The Eagles are known for just letting these like crazy games happen, so I wouldn't put it past the Cardinals to win this game. I mean, I think if you're like a betting man, yeah, obviously the Eagles are the much higher betting favorite, but would it shock me if all of a sudden it's like we're sitting there and it's like Eagles lose a stunner in the desert? Like, no, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I would not be shocked in the least. It'd be funny, actually. It'd be really funny. Assuming no one got hurt. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to give them a win. I'm going to give the Eagles a win here, which means giving the Cardinals an L. But
so
I
you're at
would not be
2-11.
shocked.
I'm at 1-12.
I would not be shocked if we lost.
All right, next week we might be the first team to lose on our bye. No, I'm just kidding. So we have a bye week 14, pretty late bye. Let's see, week 15, home to the New York Jets. Ooh, is this Carson Beck?
You know what we're eating? We're eating W's. We're eating W's tonight, Tanner. We're eating W's. We're eating W's, Tanner. Come on. What do you? No.
All right, I'll give us that
No,
one.
you know what this is, everyone. This is just him wanting to be, the Arch Manning. He wants the top pick, so he's just like, if we win this, I don't know. Is 3 wins gonna be enough?
Here's the thing. Do you know last year there were 4 teams who finished the season with 3 wins.
Yeah, you guys had that tiebreaker that was stupid.
But think about this. Luckily for the Titans, they weren't necessarily in the quarterback sweepstakes. They had the 4th overall pick and had the worst record in the league. Well, that's because of the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is your strength of schedule. I anticipate us having one of the hardest strength of schedules this year. That means we can't afford to be in a tiebreaker with anyone. So there's a scenario where it's like, oh, we get excited about a late season win. That could be the difference between getting the 1st overall pick or getting the 4th overall pick and missing out on a quarterback. I don't know.
Every game matters.
Every game matters.
At this point in the year, it's like the reverse playoff hunt. Every game does matter. This is gonna, and for the Jets too. Honestly, you think they're gonna be competitive? Probably not. So
well, and again, we're talking about tiebreakers. Not that head-to-head matters. Where are they going to be in the season?
Similar, close.
This game could. What was it last year? Didn't we have 2 of the worst teams? Wasn't it like Giants versus the Raiders last year late or something?
It was very,
and it had huge implications.
The Giants won. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a game that I think we could circle that could have huge ramifications in next year's draft. I'll give us a win.
I'm giving you a win. Come on, be a man.
All right. I'm 2-12. I think you're 3-11.
Yep, a respectable 3-11.
All right. Next was week 16. The Fightin' Yahoos. We go to the New Orleans Saints. I think the Saints could be pretty decent next year. I think they could contend for an NFC South division title. What do you think?
I really like the Saints. Listen, they're like my little pet. I got Tyler Shuck on fantasy, hoping to have Jordan Tyson on fantasy. It's gonna be a real fun year to watch those guys if I can get the other guy. I've been a Shuck head for quite some time, since the beginning. Since the beginning of last year. Kid can sling
Mother
it.
Shucker.
Yeah, Mother Shucker. He kind of reminds me of like and you know what? Hey, I think I've been saying this for a while. He reminds me of a young Nick Foles. He does remind me of a young.
Oh, I like that. Physically, he looks like him.
Nick, tall, kind of lanky, awkward, but kind of moves. When he moves like a giraffe a little bit. I don't know.
I love. Oh, I can't get that out of my head.
Got a lot of heart too. He's like older already, so I don't know. I kind of like this kid, so I'm big on the Saints. So I think that's going to be an L for the Cardinals, assuming Shuck is kind of progressing. Now look, again, he revert back to was second round. Was he a second or third rounder? Second rounder.
I think he was the 40th overall.
Yeah. So I mean, he could always take a step back, but they've loaded up that offense with a lot of good players. I mean, geez, they got, and didn't they also get
They got Travis Etienne.
They got Travis Etienne. And they have Chris Olave.
If he's healthy.
Did they get Bryce Lance too? I think they did.
They had a fun draft.
Yeah, they did.
They had one of my favorite ones.
And they got Oscar Delp, the tight end, and I don't know. They got a lot of fun players on offense, and Alvin Kamara's still there. The elder statesman. So they should have
barring health, we'll find out a lot about Tyler Shuck this year.
And that's what you want to do. And that's
exactly.
That's what I love seeing from front offices. They say, we got this young cost control guy. Let's throw talent at him, and see what he can do. It's like
let's figure out if he's the guy or not. Yep. Yes. I love their strategy.
And it fits because he ripped up, he earned them getting him talent. Sometimes quarterbacks don't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they kind of do it, be like, well, you sucked last year, but let's see if you suck with all these good players, But he's no, he did pretty well going throughout the year, and he even ended the season kind of fighting for Rookie of the Year at the end there with Tedoroa McMillan, and the momentum, they only didn't make the playoffs because the weird NFC South tiebreaker, So it was I think they were actually they lost more. They lost. It wasn't. They
weren't in the final two. It was between the Bucs and Panthers.
they were a
But
spoiler for the other
four
team.
of those teams, yeah, all
Yeah.
four of them were all like with neck and neck, even
Yeah.
though they were technically eliminated.
If I remember correctly, did they have? I think they had to beat the Falcons or something to make the Patriots.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they needed to beat the Falcons for the Bucks to get in.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was remembering that wrong. Okay. So yeah, it's a good quarterback. I think they beat the Cardinals unless Shuck's going, haywire or anything. So what are we at? Like 3-2-13?
I'm at 2-13.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you're 3-12.
3-12. That's right.
All right, I've finished the last two games of the year. January 3rd, host to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh.
Do we see Fernando Mendoza by this point?
Yes, I think so. Actually, absolutely by this point. Which means, well,
I could see the Raiders being somewhat competitive if they're 5-11, 5-10.
Yeah. You're
playing Mendoza, right?
Yeah. They're going to want to see something. Like usually with rookie quarterback seasons, you're looking for moments, you're looking for traits, you're looking for something to build off of and build on to. And I think this Cardinals team provides them an absolute wonderful whipping boy. You know what I mean? It's something that's kind of.
It's a great opportunity for Mendoza at that point.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's a Raiders win.
I think so too. All right, in the final game of the year, home to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I'll tell you what, sometimes these games are so fluky because if the 49ers are locked into the 5 seed and there's no way to move, they are 100% a team that would sit guys. They tend to be banged up anyways. And if we are 2-14, according to my prediction, I mean, guys are trying to save their jobs, right? There's no sitting out. I'm going to say the Niners are not locked into a spot and they're still playing for something. Meaning I'm going to give them.
I mean, they're either playing for a wild card, playing for division. I mean, it's a hyper competitive division, so there's going to be some sort of seeding they might be jostling for. So there will be some sort of loss if there is a loss here. So they're gonna play for something, which I think is bad news for the Cardinals. Oh my gosh!
Or maybe we lock up something at this point. So I finished the record of 2-15 wins against the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets.
And I finished 3-14 with wins against the Commanders, Giants, and the Jets.
Now, that was tough. I feel like we may have given them an extra win. Both of us.
But is there a chance that one of these losses is a fluke win? Any given Sunday.
If you catch Philly at the right moment and there's some controversy on offense, you catch you're talking about Denver. I mean that's an interesting game. I feel like we've seen this team before where they come up just short but they bring everybody back. Not just bringing back everyone, but they maybe make a big addition. And yet it doesn't make the kind of leap that you would expect with that. That could be a weird game. Muddy it up.
It would be. I think it would be a muddy it up type game.
Because they're not a high flying offense. Yeah, I'm thinking we might be in the 2-3 win range. I mean, maybe even 1. I feel like I had to stretch a little bit with that. I think the Jets might be somewhat decent. I think they made some good additions on the coaching staff. I think Gino's going to give you a chance. He'll give you a chance to throw 4 interceptions, but he'll also give you a chance to throw 4 touchdowns as well.
Yeah, it's like
Gino. They added some veteran talent. That's the game I really felt iffy about. Am I really just giving them a win just because? Got to find one somewhere. This is gonna be a brutal season if if I'm right. Like, I think we're in the 1 to 2 win range. But that might be good enough to own that first overall pick. And yes, we keep mentioning Arch Manning. It's not just him though. There's multiple guys.
It's a great draft. Hey, if you're gonna suck, this is the greatest year to do it.
Maybe this is way too far ahead of ourselves, but we have the first overall pick. The Jets have a top 5 pick plus their other 2 first round picks. You think there's any scenario in which we trade back and collect those first round picks, knowing that we're still guaranteed a quarterback? Let's say there's 3 quarterbacks that we like, and the Jets own the 3rd overall pick. No, I don't think we do that. I don't think we do that. I think we just take. I just think we take the best guy that we find.
Come on,
well,
man. You want Dante Moore? I know you do.
If the draft were today, I think there are people who would say Dante Moore is the better prospect. Arch just has the better last name.
Probably more polished, but he's from Oregon. I don't know. Herbert, and that's about it. Right? I don't know. Oregon quarterbacks. I don't know.
I'm a Marcus Mariota guy. I'm still high on him.
Yeah, well, I learned my lesson on him.
He was my personal best quarterback I've ever seen. He was on like an Andrew Luck tier to me. I thought he was that special.
Wow. I mean, they were talking about trading the farm for him from Chip Kelly. They were like, we're gonna give you.
I mean, they would have traded Kiko Alonso in like a 7th round pick. He was so high on him.
I think the offer that they actually did, like, they were floating. It was like Fletcher Cox, anyone else on offense, anyone else on defense, and a 1st round pick. Like anyone on the offense, basically. Like that's what it was. That's what they were apparently trying to formulate with Chip Kelly, was that. So I don't know. Not. I'm glad it didn't happen. Probably wouldn't have had a Super Bowl. All right, ready to talk some birds? Ready to talk some Eagles? Ready to talk our schedule? Because our schedule's a little different.
Let's get a little bit more positive.
All right, cool. So we start off our season September 13th at home against the Washington Commanders. And this is notable because in the Nick Sirianni era, we have opened on the road every single season except the year we won a Super Bowl, or the year after we won a Super Bowl. So, like, we, for some reason, like, remember now, like, you have to open at home after you win the Super Bowl, right? Like, they do the home opener. So, like, every other year they've said, nope, Eagles, you're on the road. Nope, Eagles, you're on the road. It's like, dude, come on. Like this is ridiculous. So finally, it's a home game at 4:25. It appears. Ooh, okay. Fox NFL game of the week. Very cool. Get to watch them.
Is that a Brady call?
Probably. He loves him some Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna give this an Eagles win. I feel like this is kind of last year. We really didn't get like the true NFC Championship rematch we were hoping for. I think I remember we didn't really get to face the Commanders at full force. I think Jaden was out the first week, and then the last week it was like backups. It was all backups because it was last week of the season. So it wasn't really like a great, like, I don't know, like we wanted to see that NFC Championship game rematch, but it just never happened. So I'm thinking the schedule makers are like, you know what, we're gonna make sure we get Jalen and Jaden on the field at the same time. So that's why that week 1 happened. So I'm giving them a win. What do you think?
I'm with you. I think this is a good opportunity for Sean Mannion to prove his worth. Maybe not the toughest defense, but I'm also, as a football fan, excited to see a Jalen versus Jaden matchup.
Very fun first game, in my opinion. Yeah. All right, week 2, we got the Titans on September 30th at 1:00. Man, this is such a different schedule. Wow, talking parody over here. Listen, I don't like the Titans at all. Really, I think their offense is boomer bust. I think honestly, Cam Ward, it's either the greatest throw ever or he's throwing it like 30 yards away from his receiver. I've noticed. So he does have wow throws, and that makes me wonder, like, will this game stay close? And, you know, is Carnell Tate going to be the game changer that we think he might be? I don't think so, but maybe I'll be wrong. Nothing about the offense really, like, sticks out and says that this is going to give the Eagles defense fits, because at the end of the day, the Eagles defense might be the best in the league. Like, that's how I feel about them right now. So I'm feeling good about this as a win. Wouldn't be shocked if it was close. The Titans have in the history kind of upset us, especially on the both on the road and at home in different matchups. So they have a history of kind of giving us some trouble. But I just think the Titans are too young of a team and just not there yet to compete. So I'm going to say a win for the Eagles there as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a win as well. I'm probably higher on Cam Ward than you are. I get it. There are some pretty reckless throws in his repertoire. I'm a big Cam Ward guy. I think he's got a little bit of that it factor. I get what you're saying though, and you're probably not too crazy about the Carnell Tate pick as well. And so you're like, okay, I got a bit of a gunslinging quarterback and a low ceiling receiver. So it's probably not the most exciting thing from your perspective. And not just your perspective. I kind of share some of those thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, don't let me speak for you. Actually,
No, you're right. No, go for it.
I think they still got some work to do on defense. Feel pretty good. That's a good road opener.
I see that as like a 9-point spread, and hopefully we cover. Yeah, I don't see that being a
You will definitely be betting on that game. I don't know if it'll be that much. When we play guess whose line is it anyways, or whatever we call it. Yeah, I expect you to be putting money on that one. If that's what you think.
That's a great name for that bit. Wow. So we'll so all right. So week 3, we are on Monday Night Football on the road in Chicago playing Ben Johnson, the Bears. Last year they came to Philly on Black Friday and ate our lunch and took our lunch money and threw our heads in the locker. It was a disgusting game. I was absolutely embarrassed to be an Eagles fan leaving that game, watching that game at least. That was one of the first games where I actually just drove home while the game was going on and just didn't care to pay attention to what was happening because of how pathetic it was. I will watch every throw of every game, and that game was so pathetic that it just made me not want to watch it anymore. It was that bad. That being said, I do think the Eagles are going to come up here to Chicago and actually remember that game and have more fight to them. I think we lose this game. I don't know. I think this is our first spot for a loss. Something about Monday Night Football. I really like Caleb Williams. I think he's just kind of ascending into. I don't know if I think he makes the top 10 this year in terms of people start saying he's a top 10 quarterback, if not already, and he'll be knocking on he'll have top 5 moments. I really like Ben Johnson as a play caller, and they run the ball so hard with Swift and Monangai. And if there are teams that give our defense problems, it's those hard-nosed run teams, and then do hard play action off of it, and that's literally Ben Johnson's offense. So I'm gonna give us a close, but it'll be a loss. I think it'll be a loss in Chicago. So we'll be sitting at 2-1. Ugh, I hate it.
This is probably going to be my Super Bowl. I think it'll be pretty tough. I don't think the Eagles are going undefeated, so it makes sense to give them a loss here. But
yeah,
go Birds.
Yeah, and the reason I say that is because next week, we do have a really big matchup. We come back home on October 4th at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. for this game, mind you, for the Los Angeles Rams. We have a lot of primetime games, but for some reason this one was 1 o'clock. I mean, I'm all right with it because for 2 reasons. One, Rams are a good opponent, and they have to do the whole West Coast 1 o'clock Eastern time zone thing, which historically, Tanner has told me, does not bode well for the West Coast team. So, hey, any advantage we can get, I'll take. So I actually think this bodes well for the Eagles. I think it'll be a fun game. I think we have the Rams number, and I think we have a win. I just think we just own Sean McVay. We just do. We just don't lose to him. We don't lose to him. We don't lose to him. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. We eat his lunch every time we play him. It's crazy. And they're always really exciting games, but I don't know. I think it'll be a win. We haven't Let's see. All right, so last year was the blocked field goal. The year before that was the NFC Championship game, and then in LA, Saquon ran for like 250 yards. Like we blew them out. So like, and then like the Aaron Donald era, like we never lost to him ever in the Aaron Donald era. He never actually had a sack against us his entire career. Like we manhandled him more than any other team. So I am very, very confident the Eagles, coming off a loss, will get their act together and beat the Rams, and I feel good about it.
First thought, I'm a little insulted. This is a 1 p.m. game. Seriously, why
yeah.
is it not a prime time?
Yeah.
Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Come on, Netflix. Like, somebody buy this game. I don't understand why it's a stupid 1 p.m. game. Anyways, I kind of like the idea of the Eagles coming into this game with a fat, bloody lip, pissed off.
Uh-huh.
This could be like a 35-13
Yeah.
get right, man.
Well,
I like this one.
Yeah, and like
Puka might do something stupid. I'm going to give the Eagles a win on this.
No, this is great. Yeah, we're coming off 2-1. Getting embarrassed a little bit against Chicago. Just saying, oh, can't believe we lost them. And it'll be on prime time. Come back, 1:00 game. Spotlight's not on us as much. The Rams hate us, and nothing. Fires up a hater than another hater. So like this is gonna be great. So I think it's gonna be. And you know what? I just like playing there. It's always a fun game, so I'm excited for it. I say it's a win. So we're at 3-1.
Yep.
Then we go on October 11th. We make our first trip over the pond to London since 2018 and play the Jaguars. So we play them.
I don't remember the first time.
It was the Carson Wentz. I think it was one of Carson Wentz's first games back after his ACL. And yeah. And he had a couple really cool plays. He had a play where he hit Jordan Matthews across the middle as he was like literally being sacked to the ground, and it was one of those where his knee was like right off the ground, and he kind of threw it spinning while he was being spun to the ground, and Matthews caught it across the middle and ran 30 yards. It was a really cool play. One of those Carson Wentz highlight plays where you see him like career highlight film type stuff. But yeah, we won. It was a really sloppy game, but we won that game, and I honestly like. Didn't the Jags go like 13-4 last year? 14-3?
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
13-4.
Yeah. Never been the biggest Trevor Lawrence guy. Honestly, I just don't see it. I don't see the Jags as like that big of a threat here. I mean, I think it'll be a good game, but I think we'll win. I think we'll win by I think we'll win by a possession, maybe like a 7-point win or something like that, or maybe a 4-point win, a close game. But I think we'll win. I think that's a good spot.
Did the Jaguars do anything this offseason to make you feel better? They went 13-4 in year one of their new regime.
Did they have a first?
Did they do anything?
Well, they traded their first for Travis Hunter, so they didn't add a first. They re-signed Jacoby Myers. They lost Travis Etienne. Yeah, that's about it.
That's just isn't that a perfect recipe to like go all in?
Well, it feels like a perfect recipe.
Don't we normally see that recipe like just commit and be like, let's take that next step? I don't know. It's a weird offseason for the Jags.
The Jags have a one possession like good record with one possession last year. They seem like one of those teams that kind of got by on like one possession wins. I don't know. And if so,
they finished. I know they finished last season strong. Yeah, I mean, I can't confirm or deny that
quite yet. Like
I'm with you. I think we're gonna get a win, 4-1. Feel pretty good about that. But you just remember, this is the London Jaguars.
Yeah. So, and they're used to playing out there. And honestly, us not being out there in like over 7 years, that's definitely going to be an adjustment. And look, coming off of two really tough games, Bears and Rams, I mean, there's a strong chance that maybe there's a little bit of fatigue there, and then you have to cross the ocean after those two tough games, and I don't know, maybe they don't get up for it immediately. I mean, I have to get up at 9 a.m. for it, so maybe they won't get up for it either. So we'll see.
I'll probably be waking up about 10 minutes left in the fourth. on that one. Yeah.
So after the Eagles take on the Jags, they fly back to Philadelphia and take on the Panthers. A lot of teams usually get a bye after the London game to kind of give their bodies a rest after all that travel, but the NFL decided, no, screw you, Eagles. You're going to get the Panthers. So, look, if there was going to be, I was talking to you before the pod, again, not the biggest worry of the Panthers. I listen, they're cute. I mean, they're a cute team, and they went 500 last year. You know, you're what by decade annual by decade. What's the one that says like every decade? Uh, I don't know. Anyway, it's the usual under NFC under like 500 NFC South victory like division winner. Yeah, I feel like every once in a while they have like a under 500 division winner, and last year it was the Panthers. So happens every once in a while. So yes, I understand they won the division. They were also an under 500 football team. Not that super worried. Will Bryce Young take a leap? Maybe. Has he played well against the Eagles? Sure. Did he almost beat us in our Super Bowl year? Yes. But I just don't know if they have the firepower to compete with this defense right now. I think we're two in lockstep, and honestly, like I think the defense is kind of embarrassed about the last time they played the Panthers. In fact, I think like Cooper DeJean's like kind of welcome the NFL moment was against Adam Thielen. Like Adam Thielen kind of put him on skates a little bit. Like you want to talk about a random player to like kind of give Cooper his first kind of taste of like NFL humility. It was Adam Thielen in like his twilight years. It was kind of funny, but yeah. So I think
fellow exciting Mike candidate.
Yeah. So I think we get this. I think we get a win here.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Shocker. We come back and play the Cowboys at home on Monday Night Football, and we split against the Cowboys. It's just what we do. Okay, so as much as I want to say this is gonna be like the Eagles' home win, I think we might lose this game. I don't know. I think there's like a little bit of a chance to lose this game here. So I'm gonna say we lose at home against the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. If only because I know there has to be some sort of early season like controversy and like adversity, and I think would make perfect like WIP talk. Losing to the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. I could see like a Jalen Dud game, and all of a sudden the next 4 days of radio be like, dude, Jalen was terrible. Is he really getting this Sean Mannion offense? So I'm thinking we lose this game. I think we'll be sitting at 6-2. No, 5-2 actually.
5-2.
Yeah. Yeah. And
in my head, I'm kind of taking a look at the schedule, and I was starting to pick certain games. I had a loss as well. You would think that maybe this would be a prime opportunity for a win just because it's at home. This rivalry to me, and I don't know if there's anything to back this up. This rivalry gives me the vibes of like the road team. Like I could see a split, and I could see the road team winning both.
Yeah, no, for this
year, it's just one of those weird like it's nasty. Like the Cowboys get it. They'll get booed everywhere. They'll get the boos from Philly. They're probably used to it. So it's really, I could see them messing around and maybe having a kind of bit of an offensive explosion and, putting up 30. Like, and Hurts in the offense, probably not quite. I don't know. I mean, again, teams don't go winless and they don't go undefeated. So you got to pick your spot somewhere. Yeah, I actually had them down as a loss here as well. That's funny that you picked that as well.
Because you know what, like, I know how these things go, and because next week we play the Commanders on the road, and it's Sunday Night Football. Okay, I know what it feels like. It'll be that whole build up of Cowboys beat us. Oh my God, Cowboys beat us. Is this team actually good? Cowboys beat us. Maybe, and you know what? It won't just be that. Maybe the Cowboys will be like leading the division, or maybe it'll be like a tied for the division thing. So like now it's like, oh my God, the division. Like, are we actually going to win the division? And then it's like leading up to this big Sunday night game against the Commanders, who are like right behind us. And if we lose to them, maybe we fall to third place. So I just know that's going to be my my culminating moment of like anxiety, like, oh, like, where's this going to be when the season falls off the rails? Which is why I think in Washington we win. All right, I think we win. I think we take care of business on the road in Washington. We kind of put to rest some of the doubts. I think it'll be a big Saquon game, and I think we win in Washington pretty easily. I think it'll be a fun game. I think it'll be a good bounce back game. I think after what the Rams, the Jags, the Panthers, the Eagles kind of starting to feel themselves a little bit. Cowboys kind of punch them in the face, kind of remember, hey, this is still a division worth fighting for. And I think the Eagles are going to have to respond and kind of come back against the Commanders and show them who's business. So I got the Commanders losing to the Eagles in that Week 8 game against on November 1st. So I got the Commies losing to us that week. How do you feel about that game?
I think you got part right. I do have an Eagles win as well, but I think it's going to be ugly, and I don't think it'll matter. I could see this being one of them like 20 to 16 games, and
yeah, I could totally see that.
I could see Jaden Daniel with the ball with 2 minutes left, and the Eagles coming up with a big stop late.
Mm-hmm.
And all that'll matter is that you got to win after losing to the Cowboys. I hate to be agreeing with you so much, but we've agreed on every single game so far.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So next up, we got the home game against the Giants. Rather late in the year to have our first game against the Giants. We're like week 8 or 9 and so in the year. We're getting our first Giants game. So pretty interesting. Will Jackson Dart even have enough brain cells to play? We'll see. But no, I think this will be a fun romp for the Eagles. I don't buy the Giants quite yet. I think they're a fun team. I think they're an interesting team. I don't think they're a team that's gonna, beat us on our home field. Especially when we got the bye. Looking forward to the bye. I think typically the Eagles, when they go into the bye, they kind of go in pretty strong, and I think last year, I think our going into the bye game was pretty strong too. So I'm pretty confident that the Eagles kind of win this game. It might not be the most pretty game in the world. Like you said, it could get ugly, kind of muck it up type of game. But I think the Eagles will pull out this win.
I'm with you there. I feel like there's a high volatility with the Giants, given the playing styles of both their quarterback and running back. And with Malik Neighbors coming off an injury, we don't know who we're actually playing. This could be one of those games where you expect to play Jackson Dart and just Tommy DeVito makes a random appearance. So I'm gonna say, again, I don't predict injuries, but I'm just saying it wouldn't be the most shocking thing if we look back and that's what happens. I'm going to say another Eagles win. So I think we are halfway through the season here, through week 9.
Yeah.
I believe we both have them at 7-2.
Woo, that's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. That's so funny that we haven't had any disagreements yet. Great synergy so far. So we're moving into the bye week. So that's week 10. And then coming off the bye week, we start. I love the middle of the year bye week. That's great.
I know.
That's fantastic, honestly. Then we're jumping in home against the Steelers. And I'm going to be real, dude. Like, the only way I could see this is like a tough game is it's like the Steelers kind of like, cross state rivalry thing. And maybe B being like it's like a trap game because we got the Thanksgiving game like right afterwards. Maybe we're kind of looking forward to like that Cowboys revenge game. Thanksgiving, like maybe the Steelers we kind of overlook a little bit. Not the biggest buyer in the Steelers. Like I think Aaron Rodgers is a fraud at this point. I just don't see them doing much of anything this year. I think they're kind of boring. So I don't know. I think the Eagles win this game pretty handily. Could get a little tricky because of the whole like looking ahead. Maybe it might be a trap game, but I feel pretty confident the Eagles take this game as well.
If trap games are real, I think this would actually fall in that category, coming off a bye with a Thursday night game against the Cowboys. I'm with you. I'm not very high on the Steelers. Did you know they won the division last year?
Well,
isn't that just like
by default? Everyone else imploded. It was like
and remember, the season ended off a missed field goal, which gave them the like. Doesn't that kind of sum it up perfectly?
Yeah, it's literally the meme of like Patrick's like rock pet snail. It's like, it's okay, Rocky, you go when you want. And then it gets to the end of finish. So it's like, let's go, Rocky. So like I
I
think
feel like I feel like we may look back and think, oh man, probably should have just really sat on that season last year, and I think they could get kind of ugly for the Steelers. I don't know. I'm not very high on them.
no, me neither. This is not good. So yeah, I could see this actually being a pretty rough year. And this is their first year without Mike Tomlin, right?
And you know what? Is it the craziest idea that the over 500 streak ends in his first year gone?
Oh, absolutely. Could totally happen.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, even though that division sucked last year, it's not like it's a bad division. I mean, they got Burrow and Lamar Jackson. I mean, like, it's a division with Burrow and
Yeah,
Lamar.
I mean, and you know what? I know the Browns aren't great. That defense is really good still.
Yeah, that might equal a Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
Like, the Browns defense might be like that level of a problem. So
right.
yeah, so I got them. Yeah, I got them winning against Steelers. Next up, we got Big Dallas, Big D, Big Turkey, November 26th at Dallas for Turkey Day, Thanksgiving. Um, I was okay. I initially felt when I saw this game, I was like, oh god, that's a Cowboys win. It just is. But the more I think about it, the more I just think, the Eagles, like, and I think I heard this from Elliott Shore Parks, and he was like, this might actually take a little bit of sheen off the Eagles going to Dallas yearly, like, beat down from them. Like last year, we blew like a 17 or a 21 point like lead in Dallas, and some years it's like some crazy crap that happens that ends up like making us lose in Dallas. Um, I heard this on the Go Birds pod, and they said I think I would rather this game be on Thanksgiving for like everyone to see than on like Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football in Dallas. I think it like makes it a little more evens the playing field, almost like how the Super Bowl kind of makes it like kind of even for both teams. I feel like the Thanksgiving Day game is so nationally known and nationally televised, it becomes more of a almost like a spectacle in its own right, which almost takes away some of the Dallas home field cooking, if that makes sense.
Did you know this specific time slot is the most viewed game of the year?
Yeah,
Regular
I
season,
imagine.
obviously.
Yeah, I would say so. It makes sense with Thanksgiving and the 4 o'clock time slot. Yeah, because no one's
So
ever really like
how
watching
much
the 1 o'clock.
BS is it? How much BS is it that the Cowboys get a home game every single Thanksgiving?
I hate it. No, I think it's one of the biggest crookeries happening in the NFL right now. I think it's insane. Why is their
So,
Thursday, why is their Thursday game every year home?
well, it's a couple things. One, historically, home teams have a significant advantage.
Oh, by a lot.
And for you to guarantee, because not every team who plays on Thursday plays at home. Literally,
Yeah,
half
you're
of
right.
them don't. So for you to have one of your Thursday games guaranteed at home on the same time slot, which these guys have families and whatnot, and during the holidays trying to get people organized, for you to have a routine like already in place every single year, I mean, it's BS. With that said, go Birds. This might be my other Super Bowl game. I hope I could see the Eagles maybe not winning in a blowout, but a solid 10-point win.
Yeah, yeah. So next up, we got the Birds Coast to Coast Bowl in Arizona. We kind of already mentioned it, kind of covered it in the previous schedule rundown, so I'll keep this brief. Barring some sort
America's
of
game of the week.
the America's game of the week, a lot of people will be watching. We went from the most watched game from everyone to probably the least watched. No, I'm just kidding.
It
no,
might be.
but I think this will be an interesting. I guess it'll be a test to see. Are the Eagles just going to have that like letdown, that emotional letdown afterwards, and just kind of take their foot off the gas? Because right now the next couple opponents aren't really opponents we play a ton of. So that actually the next 4 opponents aren't opponents we play a lot of. So I don't know. Maybe they'll kind of be like, I don't know. But we're heading into the stretch. I mean, I consider this to be a really tough division. I don't think the Cowboys will be far behind us, if that far at all behind us. Heck, they might be leading the division before we take them over in Thanksgiving. I do think they're a good team. So I don't know. I think we'll beat the Cardinals, and hopefully that kind of keeps us a good little spot ahead of the Cowboys in the division, maybe a game or so.
I'm with you. I don't know where we're going to be at health wise. We may be playing some youth. I think the Eagles are still playing for the division, for the NFC seeding. Yeah, I like the Birds in that one.
All right, this one might come as a surprise to you. We're at home against the Colts. That's tough. I I don't know what to make of the Colts. This all relies on Daniel Jones being healthy, and even then, I'm not sure. You know what? No, I was overthinking it. I was gonna say give him a loss. No, it's a win. It's a win. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't see the Colts coming into Philly after 2 straight road games and then beating us. I just don't see that happening.
I'm with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I think this is one of those volatile games. Do we trust Daniel Jones and be in it? No. But if he is, he's good enough to mess around and get a win. But I'm going to say no. I feel pretty good about. I think the Eagles will win that game, barring crazy health.
Yeah. Next up, we got this is a tough one. This reigning Super Bowl champions, the Seahawks, on a Saturday game in Philly. Very cool game. Very interesting. Probably really crappy weather. I think honestly, this looks like a loss. I think it'll be a great game. I think it'll be fun, but I think we have to give the Super Bowl champions their due. And honestly, I think we're bound to kind of drop one in one of these games towards the end of the year. So I'm gonna give us a loss here. I just don't see us winning that many in a row, like from that Cowboys Week 7 loss. So I look. I think what'll happen is the Seahawks just have a really good defense. They have a really smart like ball control offense, kind of mirroring the Eagles in a way, just better. So yeah, I think they'll kind of play the muck it up game, and I think they'll just muck it up better than we will. So I think we'll lose.
It took 14 games, and we're going to have our first disagreement. I'm actually going to pick the Birds here.
Oh, why?
I don't think your analysis is bad. I think there's more volatility with Sam Darnold than we may want to give him credit for.
Okay.
Sure, I'm not saying people have him as a top 5 quarterback. Did he not lead the league in interceptions last year?
He did. Yeah, he did.
I mean, it's one day, but a Saturday game feels a little weird to me. I mean, I'm not saying they can't play it. I'm just saying, like, there's a little funkiness to that.
Saturday at 5 p.m., by the way.
The 5 p.m. start's actually there must be another game.
That's even weirder. 5
Because why else would you start at 5 p.m.?
Ugh,
Especially when one of the teams are a West Coast team. So that's a 2 o'clock start for the Seahawks. I don't like that for them. That's just weird. I'm gonna say we're gonna have another Birds win.
Cool. There we go. All right.
So with 3 games left, I am at 12-2, and you're at 11-3. Oh boy, this isn't good.
We got 3 games coming up. We'll see.
This isn't good.
We got coming up. We have December 24th, Christmas Eve night. This is crazy. A Thursday night game on Christmas Eve. Does the NFL do Christmas Eve games? Have they done Christmas Eve games? They do Christmas Day games. That's crazy.
Christmas Eve is on a Thursday. Oh, yeah, obviously it's a Thursday. I mean, yeah, you just said. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't think they do Christmas Eve games, but because it fell on a Thursday.
That's crazy. So Christmas Eve, we play the Texans at home. I love that as a good bounce back game for the Eagles. I think we're going to beat the crap out of the Texans. You'll notice a trend here. It's like we lose a tough game, then we come home and just smash another opponent, just to like get ourselves right back on track. So, I think that's a good win there.
Totally disagree. I think the Texans will actually look very good, and the Eagles will look bad.
Whoa!
I think Lane Johnson, if he's healthy or not, I think it's going to be a difficult matchup against Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson.
Okay.
And it's Christmas Eve, so Santa's going to be wanting to make his presence known in his history in Philadelphia. I got Houston big in this one.
Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. I love the disagreement. I totally don't think that's gonna happen. Okay. Yeah, dude. No, I don't think so. I think the Eagles are gonna beat the crap out. I just don't think they have enough on offense. I just don't. I just don't. And that defense is great. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that defense is amazing. But I think what happened here, I think is like I have the whole like we're coming off a loss. We're gonna figure it out. Whereas you're like, no, we beat the Seahawks. Here's a letdown loss against the Texans.
This is a great Santa revenge game.
Yes, yes. So this is gonna probably be the turning point on whether you agree or disagree, or if we have the same record. We have the 49ers on the road on January 3rd. I think a lot. Like this is probably like the last like big game of the year for us. Like because most of those Week 18 games are kind of like whatever's. But we were embarrassed last year against the 49ers. I was very disappointed by how we played. I think the Eagles are going to hold on to that all year, and I actually think they're going to go to San Francisco and win. So that was kind of my like I was trading ideas behind like should I give the like the Seahawks the loss and the Niners the win or the like or flip flop it and say we're gonna lose in San Fran and beat the Seahawks. I think we're gonna lose at home and beat San Fran on the road.
I'm actually with you on that. I think playing in San Francisco at this time of the year is going to be better than playing in Philly.
Great point.
And I think the Eagles will actually be able to flex their muscles a little bit, given potentially some good weather. It'll be interesting to see how healthy both these teams are because these aren't the youngest teams, right? I mean, I think both teams have struggled with health at times. Definitely the Niners. I'm gonna say that the Eagles look good. A solid 9-point win in San Francisco.
Yeah. And then the last one of the year on the road at MetLife. See, this is tough. It's always like this is gonna be the backups game. Like this like should we win? Sure. You know what I mean? But like could we lose? Because like let's be real, probably seeding's gonna be wrapped up then. Are we really gonna want to risk our last game against Met? Yeah, I will say this. I love that the last game is at MetLife. Because like chances are we can just rest our starters for the most part and we can just I'm gonna pray that there's nothing we have to play for on that week because the last thing we want is for someone to pull up lame a week before the playoffs start. So I'm gonna hope we're like locked in so we don't have to risk any of those guys. So like it might be either a blessing or a curse. I don't know which way it'll fall quite yet. So I will say win just because on paper the starters should win this game and the Giants should kind of be out of it by then. So I'm gonna say we should win, but I don't know if it's like actually gonna play out that way because of like the starters being pulled. So I don't know. It's like a preseason game. So I don't know how you feel about that.
I agree with your outcome. I don't agree with how you got there.
Okay.
We'll be 13-3 by that point.
Yeah.
Should be good enough for a 1 seed, but I do think this NFC conference is a bit top heavy. I think there could be some other teams lurking right there with you, fighting for a first round bye.
I see.
I think the Rams will be right there. My sneaky team, I think the Cowboys might be pretty good. I could see them in that 11 to 13 win range. I think we'll be playing. I think we'll be playing harder than the Giants will.
Okay.
You're
cool.
right. We don't know. Again, I'm a little bit higher on the Giants than you, so they could be fighting for a wild card spot as well. So like this could be a fun game. For the Eagles' sake, yes, I hope this is a game where we could just kick back and not worry about MetLife Stadium. I'm not sure we'll have that luxury, but I do predict a win.
There we go. Wow, it's so funny. So we both ended up 14-3, just kind of trading out some different ones. So
weeks 15 and 16 were 2 disagreements.
Interesting. So I had the Seahawks beating us. You had the Seahawks losing to us. You had the Texans beating us. I had the Texans losing to us. So that was kind of our flip-flop game.
But we both fell on 14-3.
Wow, that's crazy. So I mean, that was a fun. I always love doing this because like it always ends up being like completely like wrong. by the end of the year. Like we'll see like different losses pop up and some wins become losses become wins. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how this breaks down. And I haven't looked at anyone else's schedule. I don't really see like too much of like oh, I feel screwed over because XYZ. I feel like it's a pretty fair schedule. I don't see any sort of like oddities in terms of like a gauntlet of like really strong teams placed back to back to back. I mean, I think you could argue maybe the stretch where it goes. I'm looking here, like maybe like Bears, Rams, Jags. That's kind of a tough stretch there in the early part of the season. But and then you could maybe even kind of connect like Panthers, Cowboys together, just because Panthers won the division. So maybe like that first kind of fourth of the season maybe is a little tricky, but it does kind of taper out with some easier teams. So it was actually the 7th easiest schedule in the league from what I heard, which is insane considering we won the division. I know like that kind of plays in the role with like the other divisional opponents' records because everyone else kind of didn't do too great last year. But this is interesting because this is a guy on Twitter. I was like Warren Sharp or something. I don't know what his name is. He does the strength of schedule not based on
I think that's right.
Yeah, he does it based on like next year's like Vegas over unders for win totals, which I think is a completely like fair and better way to look at it because like at least you have a projection instead of something that was like something you look back in the past from. Because teams are going to be like, there's already Vegas projections. Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule. It looks relatively balanced. I don't see more than 2 road games in a row, so that's favorable. There's really just one little hiccup, and that's playing a London game and then coming home. Other than that, though, I mean, it's not really that egregious just because it's, a 3-hour difference.
Mm-hmm.
No real different than playing on the West Coast.
Good buy spot. Buy placements.
Yeah,
right
but other than that, it's a pretty balanced schedule. I mean, if you look at our schedule, I think we actually finished the season with 5 out of 6 home games. If we're competitive, that could be pretty useful, but I don't think it'll matter at that point. But yeah, it looks like a pretty balanced schedule other than having the 7th easiest strength of schedule.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, look, this is a fun little thing we got going on here. Look, I feel like it's like an annual tradition, just kind of go down the calendar. It'll be fun to come back to this pod and see like how off we were. Like I'm really excited to see like, oh well, we thought the so and so's we thought we'd beat the Colts pretty easily, and they beat the crap out of us or something. So that'll be fun to go.
I mean, what's funny is that's a game. Is it the craziest thing that the Colts end up winning that game? No. We did go 14-3. I mean, that's a top 5 Super Bowl contender. Like that's what we think of the Eagles this year.
Yeah. So I mean, every time we win 14 or 13 games, like we end up in the Super Bowl. So I mean, this is going to be, it might be one of those years. I'm telling you, a lot of hype building back up with the Birds. A lot of people are getting excited. A lot of people are really thinking that defense is, truly a top 2 defense in the league, and people are starting to really like this Mekhi Lemon pick a little bit more, and people are starting to feel the Sean Mannion hire, like kind of get involved. Like I think people are a little excited about like Jalen being more motivated. Apparently, there was a report that says he's very open to being in this offense and is excited to see what Sean Mannion has. And apparently, he really likes Sean Mannion. He's talked to him and had good rapport with him so far. So good reports so far out of camp about what we got going on in Philly. So pretty excited about the year. Hopefully, it goes well.
I'm with you.
All right, you ready to do the extra point?
Always.
The extra point.
What do you got, Tan Man?
I have a trivia question for you.
Oh, that's fun. What do you got?
What franchise drafted 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks?
You texted me this. Okay, well, I know it's not the Giants and the Falcons. I texted you this earlier today. Oh my gosh. In the same draft, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Chargers.
Nope.
Dang. Cowboys.
Nope.
Oh my god. Eagles?
No.
Okay, I was about to say, like, was that like I don't know why I said the Eagles. Oh my god, give me a hint at this point. You gotta give me a hint. I don't know.
The city is. Let's see. No, I don't want to give you that hint. That's.
You gotta give me something, dude. Come on, man. I just can't keep
Okay,
saying.
the city's in Missouri.
Oh, Kansas City.
Missouri/Kansas.
Kansas City.
Are you saying the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Nope.
Texans.
Who?
No, it's stupid. Why would I say the Texans? No, it doesn't make sense. Why did I say the Texans? Yeah, dude, they drafted 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Duh.
We'll clip that.
Yeah, okay. Oh my gosh, Kansas City, and you said that the team plays in Kansas City. What the heck are you talking about? And then the team
They play in Kansas
Missouri?
City, but it's not the Chiefs.
What the heck are you talking? The Rams?
Nope.
Who? I give up.
I'll give you a hint. Their colors are blue.
Oilers?
Nope.
Titans? This is insane. I have no idea. What are you talking about? Is it an NFL team?
Are you giving up?
Yeah, I'm giving up.
In 1979,
Oh my god.
the Kansas City Royals drafted
Oh,
John Elway and Dan Marino.
I would have been here all night. I would have been here all night. You're such a jerk. I would have been here all night. Like, nope. You'd be like,
I was like, what's a good hint? Because I wanted you to say the Chiefs, because obviously they're a football team, and I wanted to give you some kind of. It's an honest hint. I mean, it is in Kansas City.
You made me say the Texans got them.
I did not make you say that. I told you they're in Missouri and Kansas, and you said Houston.
You made me do that. Oh my gosh, no. All right, so that's a good one.
But okay, think about it. Elway and Marino, they were drafted in 80. Was it 83 or 84?
Yeah.
And the Royals took them in 79.
Ooh.
What are the chances? It's not like they did like a fun pick, like, hey, like we're gonna make these picks knowing that these guys.
Oh yeah.
Are just like to get like pub.
Yeah.
I know. I think these were like legit picks. Like, hey, we think we're actually gonna like these guys got some pretty good arms.
That's so funny. It's always funny when the quarterbacks get drafted, like Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson,
Tom Brady got drafted by the Expos.
Yeah, like these all. And remember, like Russell Wilson would show up to like Yankees camp and just be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna practice for a little bit. I'm on the Yankees." Like that's so weird. It was so weird. God, Russell Wilson's so weird.
He's such a tryhard.
God, he is so corny. God, everything about him is so corny. Jeez Louise. All right, so my extra point is really just a shout out. My dad went through a little bit of a procedure yesterday to go take care of unfortunate diagnosis of cancer we got over the fall. So, but I just want to give him a shout out because he just came back from the hospital today, and he's an avid listener. I just want to give him a shout out. He's been going through it these past couple of days, but he's gonna battle like a warrior. He's gonna put the city on his back like Rocky and get back out there and be lifting up those cinder blocks over the telephone pole like he does every once in a while. In a couple weeks, I just know it. So, wanted to give him a shout out. This cancer ain't got nothing on you, Pop. You're going to beat it. No time. I'm looking forward to it. So that's what I got for the extra point.
Grateful that we were able to diagnose it or, treat it early. Isn't that always important?
God, dude. You want to talk about just like how prevalent that is. I don't want to get on like a soapbox about prostate cancer, but oh my God, it happens at like 1 out of like every 8 men or 1 out of every 7 men. Like that was insane when I saw that. Like it's that prevalent. And by the time we get older, it'll probably be even more common. So like it's something that affects a lot more people than you think. And dude, like it just came out of nowhere, and it really is something that you definitely should get checked. So look, we're getting the age, when you got to start thinking about that stuff. People in our 30s, getting those little prostate exams. So I know we don't want to think about it too much, but we're getting there, dude. So if this doesn't really get you motivated to go get that taken care of, get it taken care of. Honestly, the best way to get this, and the best thing for my dad was that they found it early. So like,
Yeah.
that's the best way to fight this stuff. So that's my extra point. Get yourself checked out and go Pops.
Go your Pops.
Go Yard Pops. All right. Well, next week we have the Fiction Bowl that we've been designing. I've been, working and tweeting and tweaking up some apps and trying to figure out a way to kind of manifest a really cool program that gets our dream teams kind of uploaded onto the software so we can run some simulations. I sent it over to Tanner. He didn't reply or acknowledge it. I don't even know if he even knew I sent it to him. So, but we're.
I'm just so impressed. You're just, at school, just doing all kinds of coding.
I've been putting in so much work on that thing, and I sent it over. I was like, "It's ready." Nothing. I don't even know if you did. You even open it? Did you open it?
I thought at first it was another fantasy football trade analyzer. I got discouraged. I was like, "Oh yay, something to not get a trade through."
No, so this thing is pretty cool. So what I had to do was you have to put the name of the player and the year. So it references both the name of that knows the player and the year that they played, and it creates a profile from that year. And we're gonna pick all 11 players on offense, all 11 players on defense, and a nickel corner. So and I made sure that it adjusted for past plays during the simulation. I said, hey, we're gonna put a nickel player on the field fill out for past formations, because the simulations are supposed to be pretty encompassing. And what it does is it's going to run 100 simulations, and it's going to generate the percentage of how many times each team wins. And then based on the average outcomes of those games, I wanted it to create one game that creates almost like a microcosm of those simulations based on how the games turned out, and then creates a drive-by-drive chart with key plays and rosters and things like that, and total yards, passing yards. So kind of like a game of Madden and a box score at the end of the game. So it's gonna be really cool. We're gonna pick the best teams, Eagles, and best teams of Cardinals, and we're gonna take their best players and say Michael Vick's 2010 year. I want Shady McCoy's 2013 year. I want Djax's 2010 year, and then Tanner's gonna take his best players from his Cardinals teams, and did John
whoever that is,
and the Trey McBrides, and we're just gonna smash them together like action figures and see who wins. It's gonna be really fun. So we're really excited to see how that goes. Tanner
sounds
would
fun,
know
nerd.
Tanner would know, but he didn't actually look. No, it's gonna be real awesome. So see you guys next week. Tanner, you got anything else to say?
Nope. Looking forward to next week's episode.
All right, cool. All right, we'll catch you next week. This was Birds Coast to Coast. See ya.